Okay, here we are, back with episode 10, and I think this is a great time to reflect on what I've learned so far. I think I've put about 20 to 25 hours into actually building this game. I've learned a lot about Godot in the meantime, and I feel like maybe yesterday when I was working off stream, I finally clicked. Something clicked for me, and things have been coming a little bit easier since then. Um, I can't remember all of the things I've done, but they include particles, the explosions coming out, and the path animation. I'm going to just start playing the game to um, try to remember where I've been. And I'm just going to play through it and try to explain what I've done along the way. Because it's been quite progressive like that. Okay, so the first thing I did, which I just noticed, is that I added these particles which we had just raining last time. Now we've got them actually turning on when they should, when the velocity of the ball is over a certain amount. And that is here. So if the floor check is colliding and the velocity on the y-axis is greater than 4, and really I just found that number 4 by just playing around with it, then play the dust animation. Sorry, not the animation anymore. We don't need the animation anymore, because I'm actually emitting the particles when the speed goes up. So little bounces do nothing. But then when I start to build up some speed and weight behind it, the particles pop in like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. That feels very natural. Started adding in some trees there. Okay. I played around with some animating here to get the text floating. I might try and stamp it on that building. Now, I'm about to roll between these two benches where I have for those of you that have watched the whole series, I have the tight squeeze points area, and that is worth 100 points for squeezing through a tight space. But I've got the particles that shoot out from that as well. After I got the ball working, I sort of understood how the particles work and decided to create like a little fireworks effect. I'm pretty bad with the colours. So those are to be done. And this guy, also same thing, I added some fireworks. And I'm just going to let him turn around, because in addition to adding the fireworks, I made the text always face the camera. And there's a sound effect too. There's also a sound effect. I'll get that guy, the tweener, on the way back. But basically, if you go slowly through any of these points, you can, through any of the score areas, there's a secret where you can add more points if you go slowly. The other major thing I've done, and I will talk about it after I just get between this guy's legs. Added some extra flooring. Okay, here he comes. So I'm gonna try and bump into him. So I've got double points there. So those fireworks are kind of weird. This major update that I've done is that there's an invisible box around here that will kick off an animation. Now, you'll remember from last time I was trying to hide the real player and animate a fake ball to make that path movement. Now, I don't know why it shoots up like that at the end. But the code for this is in the swish zone. When the ball enters, I start making the movements, and I've only got 2 movements in there. And then it didn't matter whenever I tried to move the ball back to the play area, which because I want it to be 2-dimensional, I have to stay within this axis, 1.414. That's my 2-dimensional plane. I will, no matter what happens, it will always throw the ball up into the air like crazy. And so I also added what I thought would be a good catch zone for the ball to then return it to the path. So I added this collision box here, and when the ball falls in there, I wanted it to return to the path. But as you just saw, it doesn't seem to matter. So the ball starts its animation there, drops through. No matter what I do, it just throws it right up into the air. Except the 3rd time, which is really strange. So perhaps if I remove all of the velocity from the ball, that might be better. And I'm also not super happy with this animation. I think it can look a bit smoother, of course. That's once. It's going to hit the zone again. Twice. Shoots up into the air, even higher this time. If I just spin back, so I hit the zone a 3rd time. Does it again. And eventually I will have the zone be deleted on... I will have the zone be deleted eventually when you've triggered it. You can't earn points over and over because in that ball ring is again another point zone that's collidable, which sends out the fireworks, which adds the points. So that's a bug I have to work on. And I also want to, before I start making the world more populated, I want to completely overhaul the scoring system. It's a very basic score at the moment. Now if I just run all the way to the end, there's nothing in this world at this point. Okay, here's the end zone. I'm going to have another animated swish here, and then there is an end zone here that pops up. I'll just show the code first. From the camera view, it will actually make this visible, and it pauses the whole scene in the background. Does that, and it hides that. So, back to the game, and that zone is around here. So I'm going to have a swish happen right at the end, and then finish the game, pauses, tells you your score, but then I haven't been able to write the highest score to a file to pull back. And so that is what I'm going to work on, probably off stream, because I find that I've been doing a lot of work off stream because I can just watch videos, trial and error and not have to time box myself to 1 hour. I can come back and just do 15 minutes when I think of something. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do most work off the recordings and the stream now as I continue to make this. But in the meantime, while I am on the stream, I will just add some more detail to the city. And I might be able to muck around with this bug that's shooting up the ball into the air. And you want a background, like a good background to stop you seeing the emptiness of the world behind. So that's what we're going to work on as well, just encasing this world. So I think it's just going to have to be a wall, isn't it? Just like a visible wall that doesn't do anything. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm just going to add a bit of shape. Yeah, I guess it's a shape. But it needs to be what did I add when I made that garden? The grass pad. What is this? CSG box 3D. Oh yeah, it's just a box. Okay, let's add a box. Yeah, it's just a visual box. Yep, it's white. I like it. Just a huge wall. They even make it black just to kind of black out the city in the background. Let's see how that looks. Big enough. It will be big enough. Oh, but what will really tell us is when the ball shoots up into the air. Oh, don't often get 3,000 from that. That's good. I can see the wall. It's going to need to be massive, a bit higher. And yeah, perhaps I can apply a texture like a skyline. Back billboard. 1. Let's duplicate it. This can go all back. All the way out there. Oh, now, what about another one? Another box. Mm-hmm. Reparent that to the main scene so it doesn't turn invisible. Against my court like that. Then move it down. Yep, that's good. A bit of a floor over that way. That way. This is going to be the same grass. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Extend that like that. It does go under my basketball court, so that's fine to do that. Cool. And I'll add another box exactly the same way. And then we'll just fill out this area here. This will be set lower than everything else. Just to make it a bit easier. Just roughly is fine. There's a bit more visibility here, so throw the grass texture on there. And what about this back billboard? Weird gap, so I'm just going to intersect those. Cool. What about a brick texture? Brick texture PNG. I like that. free download. Pops it up in the middle of the screen. My main email address leaked. I want it as a JPEG. Whoa. Whoa. Hold on. Let's see if we can change how that looks. Material. Or particle billboard just faces the camera. Keep scale. Interesting. How will I make it not look terrible? I don't know. How bad does it look? It looks really bad. Just need to find or make a new city background. Huge skyline. This could be higher. Huge skyline background. Huge cartoon city skyline. Images. Cartoon city. Right, let's go size large. Found a pretty funky one. Let's see. Free to download. Okay. Okay, just stand by a second. Zip folder, I don't know. Oh, there's a EPS file. Oh. Just seeing if I can get it. Okay, I'm dragging it into textures now. Come on. Oh. City cartoon background. Okay. That's so much better. Oh, sorry about that. We go. It's upside down there. Fine. Here we go. And I'm on a grass pad here as well. I'm reparenting to the main scene. It's funny how you lose height along the way. And I've got some bushes here that I have textures for. Bush leaves go there. And then, oh, surface material override. And then in the surface material, we set it to transparent. And because we dragged the texture on, it messes it up. So I go back and then drag it into surface material override before doing anything else. That should work. And then same with this one. And I want the player to start over here so that we don't see any more than we have to. Yeah, that's weird. I can move those down. Okay, got to work on that. That is outrageous. Needs to be hidden. Just lining up this asphalt in the original image with to be below mine. No one would ever know that that's not a real world behind there. Built with massive detail. They'll never know. Never ever. Okay, on to the bug. The throw the ball up in the air bug. I'm just going to drop straight into it. Going to turn off this because this catch zone didn't work to fix what I wanted it to fix. The under bucket system didn't work, so I'm going to turn all of that off. I really want to just focus on the swish zone, which is going to look like this. Throws the ball in, returns it to the front. Wait a second. I'm going to delete it. So this swish zone should only do two movements, one to the top of the ring and then one to the bottom of the net. And let's see if that throws the ball straight up into the air. Kind of. And I can't roll that way because I've locked it, so I need the ball to return. Okay, why don't I just apply rolling force, just like I would if I'd pressed X rolling force. Angular velocity. Could apply angular velocity. To the ball. Ball. Okay. Oh, this was the other thing that got me for a long time. You can't just, in quotes, go ball. Go ... / ball. It needed to be set the variable first, then open the quotes for ... / ball. Dot angular velocity x. So see, that is weird, and that got me going. That held me back for a while before and that's why I was trying to animate a new fake ball, because I couldn't reference the other ball properly because I didn't have those quotes in the right spot. Okay, so angular velocity, and we're just going to have to play with the angular velocity. Rolling force would be 40, so 40 times delta. Let's go plus 40. Fake ball animation. Plus 40 until it stops. 400. I did see it. Yeah, there's some more. It's not allowing it. Oh, okay. And then again, I'm going to turn off the axis lock briefly. Axis lock. And what is the axis lock that I have? I've locked linear Z. Axis lock linear Z. False. Saw it spinning, but it couldn't move because it's locked. Then when it gets to that, okay, 400's too much. This is good, this is good. I'm guiding the ball, but without having to animate it. I'm applying force. And right there, grab it and freeze it and lock it again. Doesn't explain the crazy bounce. But let's return it back. Let's put the catch zone in. Right here. Right here. Let's add an area. Don't mind if it is a child. I just need to make sure. I don't mind if it's a child of the swish zone. I just need to make sure that I don't accidentally affect the parent before this one, this catch zone. Catch and return. It needs to have a shape. It's going to be a box. And the box will live here. It's going to intersect the ground. Oh, I want it to intersect the ground like that. It's going to be here, over here. Oh, I've made it really small. It's going to be that deep. And it's going to be insanely high because of that crazy bounce bug that I've got at the moment. Now when it hits that, let's add a script. Catch return. Clean up this script. Catch return on body entered. We need to link it up. Body entered. Oh yeah. The the script needs to be here. Attach that, attach that. Attach, return. So I've attached the script to the parent catch return. Catch return box. Okay, this is what it looks like. We need to find the node body entered. What's the body that it's going to enter? Catch return. Should get a little highlight here. Yep. Sign linear. Now, the spot that we want it to come back to. Is 141. It's the end result. 1.414. That's what I meant. It's going to take 0.3 seconds and it will spring. Maybe the spring, no, the spring's not setting it. And then once it's back there, it will lock. And then it won't do this. It won't apply angular velocity. Okay, so we're following along. There's that catch zone at the bottom of the ring. When the ball enters it, it does this type of animation to get to this point, and then it is locked. Let's go. What have we done? Extends collision shape. No, it extends the area. Swish zone. Extends area 3D. That's why it crashed. Let's go again. Between okay, the ball is one step further away. Let's use autocomplete to find it. Because the ball is further up than it was last time, because this is now a child. Up one, up one. Go back to there, and I'm going to reparent this to the main scene, and then we're going to try it again. I could put that zone right under the ring, couldn't I? I might try to apply the angular force to the ball when it's in the air as well, just to give it a bit of spin. Let's go for that. Let's do the swish. No, it's called fake ball animation now. Let's just apply angular velocity randomly. Let's go spinning this way. X, Y, Z. Let's just do one of them as a negative. That really kicked it off. Angular velocity. No, it's rotation. Rotation. Okay, let's try that. Stopped it rotating. My brain's ticking over. I want to add spinning effect to the ball as it's tweening between these points. Don't think those are it. Bounce is kind of crazy. Bounce is really nuts. The bounce. Top of the net, bottom of the net, and just let it go. Just drop the ball. But why does it need... Why does it need to bounce it up like crazy? What if I slow it down? Maybe it is working it out on physics. And it throws it to the ground like faster than gravity. It's really weird. It's like, so it does the spin It hits the zone, gets carried to the first point right above the rim, the second point right below the rim, and then it just slams it into the ground, which I haven't asked it to do. Why is it slamming it into the ground like that? So it's easing in. Whoops. It's easing in. And let's ease it out as well. Let's see what happens. I've taken away that other transition type. Really slams it. And I've just noticed that I've applied the city to this grass. Let me fix that while I have a moment. Oh, I see what happened. Became a child. Yeah. How do I make them into a group? Control G. Group. That's fine. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Let's see where we got here. Ease in and out for the second catch zone. Let's review. That crazy bounce. Gonna turn off bounce. That seems so weird. Seems so silly. What do we call it? Property path. it's not, it's a number. Bounce equals 0.2. It's not a true or false, it's a number of bounciness. I was skeptical that was going to work anyway. It's this physics material anyway. Kinematic. Continuous collision detection. Well, body's freeze mode. Just silently reading to myself as to what I can do to chill out this ball. This ball needs to chill out on the way down. All the animations are fine, but this ball really needs to chill. A bouncing ball is too bouncy. If I made it way less bouncy, like 0.2, will that even matter? Is that even what's going on here? Let's work it out. Oh, okay. So I could set the bounce. Okay, the bounce is 75 all the time. I could try to set the bounce to be 30%. What about absorbent? That's an easy one to set. Absorbent. Not great. Anyway, I'm going to keep playing around with it off stream as usual. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.